Hey, Sue, Jesse4Enamel here, and I'm here to do a profile on my scrap deck. Now, I've been running scraps, ever since Duelist Revolution came out, literally a few weeks after it's been released. So, yeah, I just decided to do a profile on this deck because it's one of the few decks that I've stayed with for a long time. So, yeah, let's get started. So, we'll start with the monsters. So, first off is the main card of the deck, which is 3 Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera's effect is, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Scrap Tuner from your graveyard. So it's a level 4, and it's pretty much like a Blizzard of the Far North, or something, and it does not negate the effects of the special summon monster. So, normally what you do is special summon one of the cards that I'm going to show you guys next, and then sync for an immediate Scrap Dragon. The only downside to this card is that you can only synchro for Scrap Synchro monsters. So the main thing you're going to be synchroing with Scrap Chimera is this card, Scrap Beast. It's a level 4 tuner, and when this card is destroyed by a Scrap effect, be it Scrap Storm or Scrap Dragon or anything, you can add 1 Scrap monster besides itself from your grave to your hand. So, first off, it's a Scrap Tuner to use with Chimera, and second, its second effect, it allows you to get a lot of pluses off of Scrap Dragon and a certain card that I'll show you later. So next is the level 3 tuner of the deck, Scrap Goblin. It's a level 3 tuner and it cannot be destroyed by battle, but it destroys itself at the end of the battle phase it was attacked when it was face up. Now that's not always a bad thing because scraps, because once this is destroyed by Scrap effect, you can also add back a Scrap card from your grave to your hand, so it's not that bad, as bad as it seems. So, yeah. Next, we have 1 Scrap Golem. It's like an Infinity Necromancer without any requirements. The only reason I run 1 is that's a tribute monster. So, pretty much it can special summon a card to your opponent's side of the field or your side of the field that's a scrap card. So, if I thought the opponent had Gores or something, I can special summon Scrap Goblin in attack mode on their side of the field and just attack through that to deal damage without fearing Battle Fader or Gores. And another thing to do with this, I'll show you later. So, next we have 2 Mechlord Emperor Granules. So, this is pretty much the only main decked beat stick of the deck. Once I go through all the monsters, you're going to see that this deck doesn't actually run any monsters with that much attack. Prince's deck focuses on getting out Scrap Dragon. So, Mechlord Emperor Granule, its attack equals half of your life points, and it can steal your opponent's synchro monster and special summon it to your side of the field. So, for example, you could steal your opponent's Bryanak, Shien, and you could still use all their effects. Like, if you stole Shien, you can negate and everything. So, this card's really powerful. Although I prefer Wisel over it, and pretty much what Wisel does is negate 1 spell per turn, but it's not out yet, so I'm going to run Granules. Next, we have 3 Reborn Tengus. I'm pretty sure all you know what this card does by now, but in case you don't, its effect is, if this card is removed from the field, you can special summon another copy from your deck. So, yeah, you can easily pop this with Scrap Dragon, and get another, you can sync with it, get another, you can do pretty much everything with it. Next, we have 2 Gravekeeper Spy. It's just another source of non-tuners for the deck, because as you can see, this deck runs a lot of tuners. I run 6 tuners in here, and I'm going to be adding in Scrap Orthros once I get it. So, yeah. So, 2 Gravekeeper Spy, summons another when it's flipped, and I can sync Goblin with it for Arcanite Magician, pop a lot of stuff, or I can sync for Scrap Dragon and still have another Spy to pop with Dragon's effect. And next is the last monster of the deck, which is Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, it's pretty much an instant Scrap Dragon if you have a spell card in your hand. So, and I run quite a lot of spells, so I just use it. Next, the spells. So we're going to start out with the main spell card deck, Scrap Storm. This is what Scrap Beast is mainly used with. Pretty much it says to send one scrap monster from your deck to your grave, draw a card, then destroy the selected scrap monster on your field. So pretty much what you would do is, let's say you have a Scrap Chimera in your deck, and you have a Scrap Beast. So what you can do is, when you normal summon Scrap Beast, if they try to chain Bottomless or anything, what you can do is chain Scrap Storm, send Chimera to the graveyard, draw a card, destroyed Scrap Beast is destroyed, and Scrap Beast's effect gets you back Chimera to your hand. So next turn, that's an instant Scrap Dragon, so that's pretty good. And also, this is another way to get out Mechlord Emperor Granul, because Granul is special summoned whenever a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect. So next, we have Mind Control, all the tuners, so Stealer Monster, sync with it, yeah. Next is Forbidden Lance, to prevent your Scrap Chimera from getting Bottomless, and protect your Scrap Dragon from spells or traps, like D-Prison. So yeah, it's a good card overall. Next we have Scapegoat. This card is pretty much just a wall, like, it gives you, like, your opponent has to attack over 4 tokens. And also the tokens of special summons are Earth tokens, so you can sync with them and get out the Naturia Synchros, and they all have really good effects. Giant Trune, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and 2 MSTs. So those are pretty much just staples, so don't really need to explain those. And next, for the last 3 spells, we have Triple Scrapyard. Triple Scrapyard, all it does is search out any scrap tuner from your deck and you add it to your hand. It's like the Rhoda of scraps. So, yeah. And next we have the traps. So, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning. I don't have a second one, so yeah. Torrential Tribute, and Royal Decree, and 3 Dust Tornadoes. So pretty much scraps, the main goal of the deck is to use Scrap Dragon and keep popping and attack for game and everything. So the problem with scraps is that if there's Scrap Dragon, like, you have to ensure that it gets on the field, so you gotta get rid of their spells or traps. So Dust Tornado, you just get rid of their Bottomless, Solemn Warning, whatever. Royal Decree, it just negates everything. Well, all their traps. So, yeah, they can't Solemn Warning you if you use it in your draw phase before you sync for Scrap Dragon. And the last trap is Call the Haunted, so you can bring back some card, sync with it, get Scrap Dragon, and then pop Call the Haunted for Scrap Dragon's effect. So next, onto the extra deck. Of course, we have 3 Scrap Dragon. This card is amazing for scraps. So everybody already knows that it's pop 1 card on each side of the fields. Yeah, it does that. It has 2800 attack. It's a really good beater. And also its secondary effect is really good, but only scraps can really use it. So its second effect is special summon 1 scrap monster from your grave when this card is destroyed by your opponent. So what you can do is special summon Golem when Scrap Dragon is destroyed, and then on your next turn, just special summon Scrap Goblin or Beast, and Synchro again for Scrap Dragon or Scrap Twin Dragon. So that card's really good. Next, we have 2 Scrap Twin Dragon. It has the same secondary effect as Scrap Dragon, so you can always bring that back. And so pretty much what this one does is pop 1 card on your side of the field to return 2 cards your opponent controls to their hand. So it's like a mini Brinac, pretty much. Next we have Atomic Scrap Dragon. Now, this card isn't really that good, but it's useful in some matchups like the Frog Monarch. It's pretty much pop 1 and return 3 cards in your opponent's grave to their deck, so you can return their Treeborn, their Fishborg, whatever you want. You can also mess with Chaos Plants, like return their Globe, Bulb, Spore, whatever, to their deck. and stop their big plays. So this card is good in some matchups, but to be honest, I almost never use it, but it's in there just in case. Stardust Dragon, Bryo, and Naturia Landios and Beast. I'm actually looking for a Naturia Barkion, so if anybody has one, just PM me. So pretty much this negates spells and this negates monster effects. So it protects your Scrap Dragon and everything. So it's good for scraps. Thought Ruler. Arcanite to use with Spy and Goblin. Pop 2, get a bunch of pluses. And then later you can pop with Scrap Dragon. Black Rose Dragon. Scrap Archfiend. This card's in here because sometimes you do not have a Scrap Beast in your graveyard, but you have a Scrap Goblin in your graveyard. So if you really need to, you can normal summon Chimera, special summon Goblin, and sync for that. Because it's a respectable 2700 beater, and it's saved me in so many situations. Like, I would regret not running it. And last is Trishula, just because it's a staple, its effect is great, and yeah. So yeah, YouTube, that's my scrap deck, and if you guys have any ideas for it, like any interesting tech or cards to take out or whatever, just suggest some, and I'll consider your decisions. So yeah, thanks YouTube, comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye.